Or maybe even Creep Lord 1 base. Perhaps not that likely, but I guess we'll have to see.
We have to see, and we see in the red one of the best orc players, one of the scariest orc players in the world. Certainly the best orc from China is Fly.
Opening up indeed, as we thought. Farseer Headhunters looking so good recently. And especially knowing that 1-0 doesn't feel very familiar, or rather, confident against this style. 1-0 said in the interview, every build Undead can do doesn't shape up well against Farseer Headhunters, which I honestly don't agree with. I think most builds don't come out on top. Cryptlord expansion, hard to do. Cryptlord 1 base, very hard to do if you don't land the surrounds. Shout out to Juan, who still makes that look good with his god tier surrounds. Ted Fiends is the build that we see here, the most standard Undead opening against Orc. But there's another one, the one that Todd mentioned, Fast Fiends. I think Fast Fiends are really good against Farseer Headhunters and are underused in especially Asia. In Europe, some Undeads are doing this, but not too many are. And it comes with a bit of a risk, because if you play Fast Fiends, that build is only good against Farseer Headhunters. Against everything else, it's pretty bad. So there's a bit of coin flipping involved nowadays with the opening build. So you gotta take your chances.
Yeah, maybe 1-0 here on map 1 wants to test the waters and see if Fly is really committing to this and is really playing Farseer Headhunters and it's not going into some old school Blade Master tier 3 stuff. And then if he says, okay, map 1, that not the greatest chance against this very build, let me switch it up. So he still has that Fast Fiend strat in the pocket for later down the series.
Absolutely. But he's been trying lots of different strategies, and I haven't seen the Fast Fiends once from him, so I wonder if he's gonna have it reserved here, or if he doesn't believe in it currently. Last hit secured, gets to level 2. Farseer knows he can't steal this one, but he can force some more mana out of the DK. Every little thing matters. Every bit of damage, every bit of mana. Especially in the early game when you're trying to min-max every hit, basically. Farseer got level 2, replenishment potion, nice item. Headhunter's coming down south. He could try to snipe the Ogre Magi, maybe, but that would be ambitious. He's gonna go for the Arachnithids, rather.
Wow.
Pretty rare that we see this camp being taken so early.
Yeah, this was, I think, early last year, a move that 1-0 did himself with DK and Skeletons, and now Fly maybe stealing that play from him a little bit. Of course, in the early game, you don't want to lose any Headhunters, and if you don't see your opponent, it's very likely that you don't lose any Headhunters. So, I like it so far. This will, of course, enable also a very strong DK early on.
Yeah, normally the Farseer should be getting level 3 much faster, though, than the DK, because he just has more damage to creep with at the beginning with more Headhunters and Wolves. But a fast level 3 is going to be the key moment here, the sought for point for both these players. And stealing this camp away is wonderful for Fly right now. Look at the map. So many camps still available on the Orc side, very few left on the Undead side. And this is what the creeping advantage early on gives you.
Yeah, and some people might think, well, then why isn't 1-0 just heading north and creep the other stuff? Well, there's gonna be a second hero for Fly as well, and with a little bit of support, you can creep the rest of the north pretty easily. So yeah, it's indeed a problem for the Undead. Where do you go now? Do you want to contest the middle against level 2 wolves? Not really. Do you want to contest the creep spots in the north? Also, not really. Oh, that level is secured thanks to wolves. Dark Ranger second, again, this is something we see more and more. And of course, in the hands of 1-2-0, lots of skeletons will rise from the corpses of the Headhunters.
Yeah, big build adjustment here also by 1-2-0. Was trying to rush tier 3 before on only 2 Fiends, get to Destroyers quickly. This time he stays on tier 2 longer, goes 3 Fiends and Slaughterhouse and Ziggurat, delaying tier 3 in favor of being able to fight for the middle more easily. But the first camp here, the big item, goes to Fly indeed. It's the Mana Stone. Losing one Headhunter to the creeps, which is a little sloppy. And now with a level 2 coil, this is hunting season now for 120.
Okay, but he has barely any catch. He has a strong nuke in coil. He has good black arrow, of course. But that's about it. He doesn't have any Nova, for example. And of course, no disable, no impale. So it's very hard to do, and Fly pulling home at the very perfect moment. And we see a tier 3 at 50% already.
All right. Interesting. So the Orc tier 3 ahead of the Undeads. I wonder if with that we're going to see a third hero. Some Orcs like to go for it. Not all, though. Some want to prefer to have the higher level TC, especially from Focus. We see that a lot. Just TC level 4, level 5, and then spam Headhunters and Raiders in the late game. But it's a pretty even game so far, I would say. Late game, there's always the option for the Orc to go for the win condition. If Fly gets one good fight, comes out 10 supply ahead, he can always go for that tiny Great Hall to easily, at times, secure the win for him in the late game.
Oh yeah, that is something we should certainly expect with tier 3. And we already see like 120's issues with the creep spots. Has to go for the lab that gives the normal shop, the merchant, to the Orc, and he got both of it. Mana Stone from the market, still waiting for the last hit here, and this TC gets a Sobi Mask. This is a lot of mana regen already.
Arceus level 4, oftentimes we would say not the best scaling hero, especially against breakers and stuff, but against fiends, always good.
Yeah.
Chain Lightning for a bit of surprise damage, and the Wolves always strong. Destroyer control is going to have to be key. One of the big reasons why on lower levels this strategy is much better than on higher levels is because the Undeads on lower levels don't control the Destroyers too well. 120 and Happy, the two top Undeads, do that amazingly. The DK, by the way, getting a bit of a beating here from the red camp. Oops. Again, the Crystal Ball, having wonderful value. Fly didn't sell it, opting now for the Creepjack. Item going to 120 was
Helm of Valor.
Helm of Valor. I know you think I meme about it, but look at this Dark Ranger.
Yeah, man.
Plus 24 damage.
But yeah, has to survive. Nukes another creep here to get the kill, then TP out. Absolutely the right choice. It's a power spike for Fly with the level 4 and close to 3. Headhunter upgrade as well. Raiders are streaming in. You don't want to fight here without a Lich, without an Orb, and due to the delayed tier 3, 120 was clearly not ready. But with that, the scraps of the red spot might go to Fly, the Arachnothids go to Fly. And 120, what can he possibly do? The only spots left are Lab and the other red spot, but it's very, very obvious where you go. And wait, you still have to wait for the Lich, right? Yeah.
With that, Lich 120 is actually going to have a chance to get the next red camp. That would be amazing for him. And Fly trying to go for the Creepjack when he knew he was going to be too late for the big camp may turn out to be a mistake. But oh wow, he goes for the tiny Great Hall. No third hero, 45 supply only for Fly. He just bought an Orb of Lightning and a tiny Great Hall. Really heavy investment. TC did get that level 3. And without really a lead into the mid game, Fly is going for the tiny. That looks a little scary, but the undead heroes not too powerful yet. If the Dark Ranger gets 3, DK 4, Lich level 2, then we're going to be online for 120. But Fly knows he's got a bit more time until then.
First Destroyer is up, and do you remember WGTL 120 versus Focus? The Destroyer control there absolutely off the charts, batshit crazy. He is indeed one of the best to move them, and he has to. He can't afford to lose that Destroyer. First Dispel is good. Got some mana now to work that accelerates creeping, and Pendant of Energy, decent one. Lich is out as well, and that is finally the Orb of Corruption. Does he feel ready yet?
Lost armor first, by the way, interestingly. Not Nova, as most would do. Secures a kill there with the coil as well. Dark Ranger very close now to 3. That is a huge level up on the Dark Ranger. Level 2 Black Arrow against Headhunters is amazing. A big reason why Dark Ranger is played nowadays as a second hero rather than third hero. And of course, the timing advantage on tier 2 and such. 120 very patient with the positioning, not overextending. Very reminiscent of plays we've seen before by players like X-Lord.
Absolutely true. Don't rush into your opponent. He's just gonna stomp and focus fire you. We're aiming towards the very, very late game. And he wants this level 3 Dark Ranger so bad. as well as the level 4 DK, by the way. 6 XP only. And that's it. That's one level up. Oh, needs one more. Fly, will you allow this?
One wolf for level 3. Might be easy to come by. Fly knows he's being pretty inefficient with experience gain, but he's got the expansion running, which is his big advantage. So he doesn't mind wasting, in quotes, his time down here. And he's waiting for the opportunity, and that is now.
Do we have a silence? Does he have to break through this? The first stomp was massive. And now, how much damage can he do here? Focus fire on the statues, looking real good. Healing coming in. Another stomp. It's just way too good. And that destroyer wasn't microed perfectly. And 120 is completely falling apart.
The dust is there. 2 more Fiend kills, and 120 is just losing almost everything. But it's only going to work so long as there's mana on the Orc heroes. 120 is trying to outlive the mana of the opponent, and then his heroes might be able to take over. Dark Ranger can turn more and more Berserkers into skeletons. We see 2 level 2 skeletons already on the field. More Berserkers are falling. Shadowhunter out of mana. TC almost out of mana, but going to have another stomp again soon. DK still 2 coils left, maybe even 3. Shadow about to drop. Not investing the coil to get that kill. Wants to hold on to the mana to save the heroes, and 120 is playing Enfos right now. Basically with heroes only. Stomp coming through, looking for the kill, going for the DK.
Lich!
But there's no Hex here. The Lich goes down. I even missed it. With the Chain Lightning finds the kill. That's the level ups, the GG, and the win for Fly.
Fly showing up really prepared here with that Farseer Headhunter style. He figured out early that it was going to be a creeping game. Very interesting build for 120 as well. Like, he went fast DK, and probably because of the Road of Necromancy cooldown being reversed. Now it's quicker to use that, so he just crept a little bit in the first place, then crept a lot with Fiends. But it was Fly that got 2 big items. Yes, he got a Crystal Ball, but that Mana Stone was pretty big, and his Farseer was leveling so fast. And then after that, everything seemed to fall in place at the perfectly right time for him. Like, he got the Tiny Great Hall, the Orb of Lightning. He was on 45 out of 50, made Shadowhunter, and only then did he start +1 attack because he felt like he didn't even need it before that. And it seems like it's a brand new thing where at high level, if you know that you're going to keep tabs on your opponent really well, you don't even get fortified or reinforced defenses at all because you know he's not going to hit your burrows. You're always keeping an eye on him. So really well played by Fly.
I agree, stealing a lot of experience off the map, which led to a position where 120 was forced into that red spot. Engaged, Fly was there, punished him, killed him, and took map 1. Is there a way back for 120? The next map is gonna be a last refuge after a little break. We're back at DreamHack Summer Open here in Asia, and Fly 100%. Not too many mistakes in game 1. Maybe there's one headhunter at a creep camp, alright, but apart from that, I really didn't see too much flaws in his play.
Yeah, he actually dodged all the fights that potentially could have been bad for him. When Undead got Death Knight level 3 and Dark Ranger, that's where sometimes you'll see an orc overextend, fight at the wrong time, then lose 3 to 4 headhunters. No. He lost one to creeps, but then after that he kept everything alive, pulled back with a very low hit point one, which he then healed, and started leveling his Stone Chief. Yeah, so was 1-0. It would have been a really bad time for Fly to fight. It was just like, I'm gonna sit there in a defensive posture, not let you creep while my expansion is running the whole time, and he got further and further ahead up until when he broke up keep. He just had way more than 1-0 did.
Yeah, that's
so great decision making from him this whole game.
Looked like a wonderful timing indeed. And Remo, when you look at the map right now, you will be very, very, very happy because it's a different build on a new map. It feels like he was just testing the waters on map number 1 and is now listening to the coach, because on Last Refuge, we're gonna see Fast Fiends.
Yeah, I'm very happy to see that indeed. The big problem with playing Ted Fiends normally, like we saw on the last map, is you're always going to be down in firepower. You're always going to have less damage than the opponent does with their headhunters. And if you play that style, you basically have to get a lot of headhunter kills in the mid game to keep even. And if that doesn't happen, you're going to be in trouble. If you play Fast Fiends, you're going to have 3 Fiends out quickly, can creep anything, and with 4 or 5 Fiends, you can creep anything easily, and, probably most importantly, with 4 or 5 Fiends, you can take out the Wolves very quickly. It doesn't sound like that big of a difference, 3 Fiends versus 4 Fiends, but it does actually make all the difference in the world to deal with these Wolves, which can be so strong on a fast level 3 Farseer. But here comes the crux of the matter. I mentioned it earlier. This build is really good against Fast Fiends. It's really not good against everything else. And I don't know how Fly does it, I really don't. But he always selects the right build.
Yeah.
He always wins the mind game.
I was about to say this as well. Let's think back to like 2 weeks ago when it was War 3 Champions Finals and he was up against Infi, and Infi played random, and Fly on every single map got the right guess. It's incredible. How does he do it? Does he have like a crystal ball at home or something? This is the hard counter to the Fast Fiends, and this looking excellent for Fly, and nothing really happened yet.
Yeah, this is pretty damn wonderful for Fly. There is a caveat to this, though. This is the playstyle we saw in 2008, 2009, when this matchup seemed to be unwinnable for Undead, excuse me. And since then, a lot of things have changed. So, a lot of orcs nowadays don't play this style so well anymore. The fast blade against the fast fiends. Some of it has been lost in the ether. So, it's not clear what the best playstyle is to go for anymore nowadays. Usually you want to creep level 2 blade and then be aggressive against the DK to drain mana out of him. Because with this fast fiend build, a level 3 DK should arrive before too long.
Yeah, and I'm curious, 1-0, we've seen him against Lawlight in the group stage, for example, where he went for a crypt tower push, and he's no stranger to undead tower pushes, as familiar as you can be with undead tower pushes because nobody really does it. Is there a timing maybe to go for the tier 2 push with early Banshees? Oh, Blade Master in trouble as well.
Yeah, I was a big fan of that strategy in the past, but it has become a lot weaker with reinforced defenses now on tier 2. But it can always be an option. 1-0 definitely has a plethora of strategies to pick from. And this was a huge moment, by the way. This early game scout to prevent the Blade Master from getting the item right here. 1-0 knowing exactly how he has to play this build. And that was essentially the Blade Master wasting a lot of his time. He went into the middle of the map, trying to get the items, trying to get level 2. He got neither level 2 nor the items. So that's the game turning back in favor of 1-0 a little bit again.
For now, at least. Of course, Blade Master still has a lot of sustain, but can't get level 2 here, so no critical strike. Everything is calculatable. There is dust if the Blade Master decides to go into Windwalk, and creep speed should also be good. There's mana, there's skeletons, and there's nothing really to fear as he keeps tabs on the blade, reveals immediately, cancels the heal self. This is looking like a very good 1-2-0 on map 2. Needs to get this last hit though. Coil gets it.
Item goes to Fly, very valuable here, the circlet, but experience just as valuable. The DK level 3 is very strong and very non-item reliant. Level 3 DK with a level 2 coil, plus along with that 4 fiends, is a big danger to a grunt army and to shadow creeping. And this skeleton scouting, by the way, is wonderful. With that other skeleton, again, the Overseer was seen being attempted. 1-2-0 gonna threaten now the steal with fiends as the DK goes back to the main to get New Rod of Necromancy, and Fly falls for it. If he knew the DK is not here, he should commit to the camp, but now it might be too late. This is a big deal, this item right here.
Looks like he can still get it. Oh, DK is coming around the left-hand side. Is he in time for the steal? That would be so big. Ah, Blade Master is here now to secure the kill. That is level 2. Another ring. Very unfortunate. Just 2-3 seconds. Otherwise, the DK would have stolen it. And then that's a huge XP swing. Fly wasted so much time on this one camp. That's, of course, like the good thing about that is that the entire north is free to creep for a second hero. Shadowhunter is out, tier 3, started Beastery. The usual build right here. But 1-2-0 is getting closer and closer to 3 Cs. The Blade Master coming again. And this will not be stolen, of course. Replenishment potion also always excellent.
Especially right now for the DK. If he gets 3, pops the replenish, he's going to be in great shape to fight against the Shadowhunter. And the Shadowhunter is coming.
Yeah.
Wow. Level 1 Shadow Aggression in Asia. I thought this was forbidden. I thought this was one of the 10 commandments. But guess what? Here he shows up. Has to be a hex on the DK right away. A little too late there. 1-2-0 has to TP out of this before too long. But it's, I think, okay for 1-2-0. This Shadowhunter spends his first 1.5 minutes getting 0 XP.
This is Madman going for the red
The
spot.
scout on the high ground. Dude.
Dude. This is so big. So, wait, he's still going for it? No way. 1-2-0
This is a
doesn't
mind
really
game right
matter.
now. 1-2-0 thinks he was scouted, so there's no way he's going for it. But with the reverse psychology, Fly thinks, whatever, he's not going to come here anyway, so I can as well do it. And he actually gets it.
Alright, that's also a little bit of waste of time for 1-2-0. Clock of Flames. Very nice for TC or Blade Master, but he's just intercepting him here. There's of course no TP, but a speed scroll. The mini TP is ready.
No War Mill yet. No reinforced defenses yet. 1-2-0
This
is
old school.
all in on tier 2. Acolyte, Ghouls, no Blight Skull though. Oh, we forgot about that one.
Okay. Well, go Necropolis then, I guess. Super old school to go for tier 2 burrow push, and that's it. That is Fly supply block for quite some time. Grunts are falling, Frost Armor excellent despite the nerf. What's missing is Web, but it's finished now, and yeah, you can say goodbye to this Wyvern.
And this Wyvern, which was supposed to be good for creeping. Blade Master in trouble. Heal Potion is going to eat it just barely in time. Blade Master gets away. DK running out of mana quick. But here's the web. That's a good amount of experience, by the way, right there, that Windrider. And for holding a push, Windrider's horrible.
Yeah, way too fragile for that. The fiends are all hurt, but it's okay. The peons are hacking and slaying away. Fly is throwing everything into this defense, but nothing's falling. The Lich block against another peon. This is so well done. Catches Fly off guard. There's a Kodo coming now, but despite the Kodo, that's the army. That's 2 heroes, level 2 and level 1. That's all that Fly got.
This is a bit of a disaster right here. Can Fly fight his way back? Kodo coming in, trying to get off the munch. 1-2-0 usually great at dodging these devours. Blade in trouble as well. Look at these burrows!
Yo.
Split second before the Kodo comes in.
Yo.
Wonderful control by 1-2-0. He's going to lose the statue. And finally, the Devour lands, but the blade, whew, 3 HP. He's thankful now for those rings.
Exactly. Thank the Lordy for these rings, but Fly is still blocked or capped at 31, and this won't change. The Blade Master dies eventually to the creeps, I guess. Oh my god. And there's the Necropolis, actually building a Necropolis in front of his base to get the Blight and tower up. Okay. Okay.
120 comes in every now and then with these cheeky surprise tower pushes. And it seems like Fly is holding on, well, by a prayer. Cancels the buildings, alright. Honestly, if the Ultra falls, might not be that bad. He can always still go for a Tavern Revive, but he doesn't have any more regen left. And this statue is absolutely wonderful for the sustain. Fly trying to take it out, but so many peons are falling. And the Shadow almost still had it there for a second. Does slip out.
But the base is in shambles. He barely has lumber economy anymore. I think it's 1 peon at the moment. Fly is playing it smart and catches reinforcements as best as he can. Do a little damage to fiends here, but then they just move back. There's no damage in this army, if you want to call it army. Blade Master's back.
Lots of gold still for 120.
Heal scroll as well. Kodo goes down. The fact that this Acolyte is still alive is also incredible. Level 4 on the DK. Fly, are you clawing your way back into this somehow? There's no tier 3, no orb, no destroyers.
120, he should have had at least 1 Ziggurat standing here by now. Upgrading into a Nerub Tower. That's the one mistake here by 120. Can Fly still do it? I mean, 23 supply. It's looking bleak. Don't get me wrong.
Dude, imagine
he just catches more and more reinforcements.
Imagine if he just techs to get the ice attack on the main building. I mean, it's 120. I wouldn't like if there's an undead to do that. It's probably him. Should definitely change the rally point by now. It's a little too obvious that all the reinforcements are coming through the middle, and so he's losing 2, 3, 4 units. There's the purge, there's the kill. But yeah, base still getting ravaged.
And once all the burrows go down, there's going to be open season on these peons as well. But 120 is actually teching. He's doesn't want to, you know, bite off more than he can chew here in this push. These Kodos die quick though. Oh, he waved too late. Always feels bad when that happens.
Okay, do you have to get out there, 120? Fly is kind of coming back. DK, that was one of the last coils. He has a heal potion and a heal scroll. And as long as Burrow is there, I guess it's still fine. Using it now. Shadow Hunter down to 50%. There's the coil waiting for him.
They have to go with the heal wave there. Blade Master still looking to get these statues. Purge on statues, as we know, 95% proc chance. Gets the next. And finally level 3. That's going to cost him another Kodo. Level 2 Aura, also so smart here by 120. Many undeads just go into autopilot, going Death Pact against Blade, but here Aura absolutely the right choice, because the Blade isn't really a big threat, at least against heroes. And it's GG. 120 ties us up.
What a sick game again by 120. That skeleton on the high ground and spotting that Fly was going to head there. He cut off the retreat of Fly. He knew that Fly, immediately after getting the item, would just start running back home. He kind of cut him off. Almost fully intercepted the Shadow Hunter. He forced all salves to be used immediately. And then he said, okay, well, you have to heal. You have to wait for a little bit before you can engage. I'm going to start working on your burrows. Gets the Necropolis as well so that he has Blight on the other side of the map. And he reads the game so perfectly here. Like, this is the one timing that could have won it the way it did just now. Like, 120 is so amazing against Orc.
And that was one of the pushes that rarely any undead does, but he sees the timing. He sees the base is wide open. No reinforced defenses, of course, that early in the game. And then the Orcs are vulnerable if they rush to tier 3 so fast. Game 3 coming up. Who's claiming match points, 120 or Fly? We're going to be back in 3 minutes. Back at DreamHack with a 1-1 score, the series is tied between Fly and 120. Who's gonna claim the match points now is the question. Moon is waiting in the semifinals.
Yeah, after 2 maps, it seems pretty clear we might not see the Crypt Lord at all, perhaps this series. But do we now see a 120 finding a new confidence in the Crypt Graveyard build, which is straight to Fiends with Death Knight? Because that game was successful by him, it looked convincing. Like, of course, he went for a very specific rush, which it might be hard to plan on doing that on a lot of different maps, but also he was playing against Blade Master, so he kind of adjusted to it. So yeah, we'll see if he does the same thing and if this is what he thinks gives him the best chance in case there were to be a Farseer Headhunter build.
It's cool to see Fly here. Prior to the first 2 maps, he was just staring at his screen, super focused. Now he's popping off a little, as we saw in the group stage. I really want to know what this playlist is. What is he listening to? Probably best 50 anime themes or something. But now, killer view in his eyes once again, and off we go. Map number 3, it's Autumn Leaves. We've seen this map before today. It was quite entertaining, so hope these guys can bring us some value to it once more. Series is tied, but not for much longer. Game 3, go, go.
And now we roll the dice again. Which build are you going to go with? Which build is better? Farseer Headhunters is good against everything but Fast Fiends. Fast Fiends can suffer quite a bit against Blade Master. But why, Remo, you might ask? Why? Was it so good then? Just a moment ago, why did it win with Fast Fiends? Well, it was 2 big mistakes by Fly in that game. He crept too aggressively early on. With the Blade Master, he was contesting too much. Against Fast Fiends, the Blade Master is free to do whatever he wants for quite a while. You should be able to get 2, maybe even 3 items without any contention. But he went to the enemy side of the map where he could get interrupted, and he did, and then the Blade Master was slowed down a lot. Second mistake, he used the Shadow Hunter level 1 aggressively across the map, gets 0 experience. He gets the red camp item after, but only the item. Experience gained from that, only around 100, having to share it with the Blade Master. The reason why this build worked, this push, was because the Orc heroes were under-leveled. And that's what I meant. Against this Fast Fiend style, not all Orcs, even the top Orcs, play it perfectly anymore. You need to be more concerned about your levels. But Neo, how is it that again, Fly gets the perfect build? He plays Farseer Headhunters against a favorable, or for him, favorable build once again.
This is so crazy. How is this working all the time? This guy does not make one wrong read in the early openings. This is absolutely incredible. Okay, now it's up for 120 to find a new solution. Northern Isles wasn't it. Fly was just controlling the map way too good. And I see trouble coming for the undead.
Level 1 Farseer aggression this time, not starting off with creeping as we saw before on Northern, because here it's not so easy to do. Big last hit. Goes to 1-0. And the damage on the DK is quite significant here. This does matter. If you want to play this build, Fast Fiends, which he is doing, 1-0 needs to be able to find kills against the Headhunters. He needs to get level 3, kill 2 or 3 Headhunters in the mid game to keep the game even. Otherwise, we saw what can happen.
Yeah, that was too powerful, too fast on map 1. There was really nothing that derailed Fly, so 1-0 needs to put some obstacles in front of the Orc here. So far, I think Fly is dealing with this very, very well. DK a little hurt, can't really do too much with the skeleton, and he's even brave enough to pull the Headhunters right away and creep with them in front of 120's base.
The timing was off by 1-0 a little bit. He was going by game sense there. He knew the last camp or the last creep was going to be attempted by Fly. He almost got the coil. That was less than half a second too late. But this all matters. These last hits, these experience points are a huge deal. Especially level 2 on the undead side is a huge level up. For the Farseer, not so much. Level 1 Chain Lightning is meh, but the Undead Aura makes a huge difference.
Maybe this is the first Headhunter. If the block is perfect, and ooh, for now it is. Can use a coil soon. Ho, ho, ho. Okay, statement block. And the big first success for 1-0 in this game.
Might get a second. Yeah, with a DK block, this should definitely be a second one. It's not quite going to be level 2 yet, because 1-0 missed the one, lasted on the creeps.
But he might get another Headhunter. Oh, no.
With no more coil being available, it's hard to get. But 10 seconds, and there's going to be another coil, and there's going to be 3 Headhunters dead. And Fly, this time, way too aggressive and careless with his Headhunter positioning.
There we go. Wow. 3 kills and no return kill yet. Nice sidestep by this Fiend. Wolves are about to close the block.
Oh,
the
nice
movement is, yeah, Messi-esque dribblings by 1-0 right here. How long can he dodge it? It's still an opening, right? Oh my, this is so much time.
And he blocked that surround on the other side with the 2 skellies. Nicely done. That may have just been a happy accident, but it looked really cool. Dark Ranger second, 3 kills early, and 1-0 shows how this build can work out as well. But Fly definitely made some mistakes here. He crept too aggressively, he didn't protect his Headhunters well enough, and Fly showing some flaws here early on.
TC is coming. This time the War Mill is up, of course, thanks to the Headhunters. And 1-0 feeling brave. With the Dark Ranger, of course, he has a little bit of momentum. He has the timing to get something done here. And he has the damage as well. So raise these skeletons and grab some XP. Farseer waiting in the wings. But what does he really have? Like, not much, to be honest.
Wow, great creep. He pulls out the lab, and I'm surprised 1-0 isn't checking for it. He was right there and was really suspicious. But he just lets the Farseer creep to just creep up himself as the DK comes to solo. Check out what's going on. If he gets the last, that would be huge. But the Chain Lightning secures it, as 2 of the Headhunters are again very hurt by this.
I was about to cancel the heal selves, but no. But the coil from downtown. Finally level 3 Farseer. That took some time. Gets the rope now. Can he still play the advantage of level 2 wolves, or is it too late for that?
It is certainly going to be helpful in any case, but he may have to use them to creep. Losing 4 Headhunters early, this TC cannot snowball as hard with leveling anymore. And 1-0 did exactly what he needed to. If you play this build, Ted Fiends, you need to find kills on the Headhunters. He managed to do that. Not with level 3 DK, but with level 2 and level 1 DK. That was the brilliance of 1-0 this game. And a bit of imperfection by Fly, but he's getting big items in the middle. Robe already. Now he's going to get the next one. Again, 1-0 concedes the middle of the map to the opponent. But this time, Fly doesn't creep as fast with all those losses.
And 1-0 on the other side gets a potion of greater mana. That is probably the best he could have found there. Book of the Dead on the other side can be good if Dispel on Destroyers was used already, or if he finds an earlier timing for, I don't know, Goldmine Harasser or something, or maybe just in the fight. Dispel will take some time. Invo Potion, Circlet even. How are we pimping Dark Rangers now?
Hell yeah, bro. Get that Agi rolling. Get that level 3 fast. And have those level 2 skeletons. DK level 3 pretty late, but still in time for any kind of big fight. And this is way better if you can spread the levels like this to get DK and Dark Ranger 3 if you can. Those skeletons, that Black Arrow is going to be so strong. And guess what? There might still be lots of camps left. More experience for the Lich in the late game.
Yeah, especially the red spot still there. Crystal Ball right here. There's still his gold mine. There's still the shop. Fly needs to speed things up, but it's so hard to do. He's trying to go for the red spot here now, with only 5 Headhunters.
And the Farseer always has to be around because his help is needed for creeping because too many Headhunters died early. And there's a lot of experience the TC isn't getting. He is probably going to get barely level 3 from this camp, but he's not going to be close to 4 or 5 at all.
And this takes forever. Cloak of Flames, once again, pretty good. additional damage always appreciated here. Skeletons are checking the main, see the tech timing, and that is also quite some time for 120 to creep his own red spot without the Lich apparently. Yes.
Yeah, didn't want to be inefficient. He didn't want to waste time. If the Lich was able to be here, would have been wonderful, but he just needs to soak up the map, get as much experience and items as he can, and hope that there's something left for the Lich. If it will be the case, we'll see. Might just be some green camps. I wonder what skill he's gonna go for. Earlier was Frost Armor, which didn't seem that good, but what is good is a nice little pipe.
Yo, definitely, especially the one of Khadgar. That is the favorite pipe of all the undeads. Fly is creeping well too as a tanky TC now, level 3 of course, but still missing the Tri-Hero, no orb yet. Tier 3 isn't really online, and here's the Lich. It looks like a perfect timing for 120.
What's Nova this time? I like that more. Sells the crystal ball here, goes for the heal scroll. Would love to see some HP items given over to the Lich because he's super squishy on level 1. And yeah, some green camps left. Level 2 on the Lich would be great. Keeping the DK out of experience range. The Dark Ranger perhaps also should not be soaking up XP, but she's creating some skeletons, which are also valuable. And 120 now at 50, looking pretty strong. So strong, he could even expand right now if he wants to, but that's not the plan. 120 is looking for the fight. Looking to put in some damage.
Yeah, it's breaking upkeep as well. Really eager to force the issue now. Peon slide already. This is the tiny Great Orb, but oh boy, does that take time until it pays off. And 120 is so close, man. He can just push this.
Double invul pot. Now for 120, one on the Lich already. That is the squishiest target. Fly was able to kill the Lich before, that was wonderful, but this time it's going to be a lot harder. The army isn't quite big yet. Again, he went for the greedy expansion, this time much more greedy than before, and the Coda are going to get sniped instantly. Level 1 heal wave is nice, but it's not really super strong. Ensnare's flying, needs to get these kills fast. Statue positioning, by the way, wonderful. Can't get ensnared and killed easily there. Scroll the Beast popped. There's no destroyers ready to dispel, and now there is. Coming in with a big dispel there as well. DK with the coil saves another fiend. Level 4 on the Death Knight already so fast now with the aura. Might even go for Death Pact here, I guess. And the army's just melting away. The Dark Ranger, the skeleton's too strong, and Fly was not ready yet. Trying to go for a desperate Hail Mary hero kill because there was Death Pact. It wasn't aura. 120 plays it safe. Sticks around for the fight. And can even get more skeletons. And he gets level 2 on the Lich as well. Now we even have the Frost Armor to protect the dangerous targets. Dark Ranger in the front line, tanking a lot. Dodges the coil with the invul potion. Nicely done. Follows up with a stomp. But that was the last stomp of this fight.
And 120 will never run out of steam. Statues, Khadgar's pipe. There's always mana to use the heavy spells. And so many coils, so many Nova, so many silences as well. How do you even hold this? Supply lead is with Fly. He has 1,000 gold, but no lumber anymore. Lich is gaining levels like crazy. Dark Ranger level 4, packing a punch. These poor raiders, man. Usually they get Coil Nova and then they're gone. But here they're just getting right-clicked and they're gone. Fly hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, that thread is about to rip if you ask me. Peon's getting slaughtered. Fly doesn't have much left. He doesn't have those crazy strong hero levels. And the level 4 Farseer close to level 5. Honestly, he's only nice anymore. He's not that amazing. Wolf summoned again, instantly split. Destroyer still up in the air, though Destroyer this time was not lost. Some illusions coming into play as well. Destroyer pulled back again. If there's no ensnare, these Destroyers should pretty much never die. Lich in trouble though, but the coil is there last second. Fly tried to go for the hero kill. Invul potion! Last second will be there. That invul crucial. Coil flies again, and yeah, just too much mana to fight through. Fly on his last leg. He's gonna be swatted here in a moment.
He didn't even use the big mana yet, but maybe he regrets it now as the DK falls. Fly sees an opening there. Hail Mary, and it seemingly worked. For how long is the question? No coil, of course. That hurts big time. Farseer gotta be ultra careful. Shadow Hunter as well. I think one of them will fall. There we go. Dark Ranger moves back to the left-hand side. Lich is still healthy for a bit. TC is gathering mana once again, but how do you deal with this Destroyer? Oh, I think he just did. Dark Ranger could have been blocked by the peons, maybe. But Fly is somewhat coming back in this game. What is happening?
Lich got level 3. 120 didn't send anything towards the middle to revive the DK, very surprisingly. A little too hectic for him to keep this overview, but a ghoul should have been there a while ago. Another fiend going down. Fly with a desperate hero kill might be able to get at the Cloak of Flames. Gets to kill 2 fiends here.
Oh, wow. I thought, okay, no problem. Oh. 1-0 pausing the game.
RPG?
Maybe hotkeys or something.
Super tense moment in this game. 36 against 36 supply. We're dead even, but that's about to change. Fiend's about to die, but DK about to return. A DK who still had a big mana potion. I think 1-0 still in a good position here. We're in the super late game. High level heroes. It's all down to spells. And every hero's looking strong with the exception of the Shadow. He's still only level 1. That is the weakest link by far in this game.
2 fiends still at the expo, by the way, burrowed there, but Fly, he has dust now. How do you save them? Okay, DK is back. Use the mana potion. Shadowhunter is back as well with the clarity. Farseer super close to 5. TC, not really, but there's mana, there's storms. Is he just doing it again? He's just clicking on the DK. Get out of my face, 1-2-0. That plan to just right click the Great Hall doesn't work.
That was the only stomp though. 1-0 now has a much easier time dealing with anything that the Orc has. Coil again, Lich still taking damage. So close to level 5, he needs just one more kill. Level 5 Farseer would be amazing, but first it's the Wyvern going down. The Coil secures it, and this Catgus Pipe. 1-0, almost through this game to be fair, but this Catgus Pipe might be the ticket saver in the end.
Yeah, and now it's time to raise the dead to get the skeletons. 1, 2, 3, almost 4. Here we go. That is, of course, juice for Lich and life for the DK, and of course, firepower, especially against buildings. Fly, do you have another pocket strat up your sleeve? Another Hail Mary? One stomp, but okay, not getting too much. Chain Lightning Man even saves this fiend and into the burrow. Excellent.
The DK in trouble again. Does he have the time for the death pack? He did. Oh my god. And Fly still alive at the expansion. 1-0 with the same mistake again. The DK should never be in stomp range. Ever. He made the mistake here. It almost cost him the hero. He made the mistake earlier where it did cost him the hero. But he still traded very favorably. It's still looking really good for 1-0. But he's making a few weird moves with his Death Knight.
Getting too over-eager. Has to play it a little more defensively indeed. But now we got 4-4-3 heroes. He's miles and miles ahead in experience. But Fly is forcing the issue again. They're fighting over the shop. Farseer, of course, squishy hero. No level 5 TC yet, but he has a potion and almost full mana.
Invul pots here are crucial. Both players with 1. TC, full mana, and mana pot. A moment ago, he was much easier to deal with. Now the TC is a real big danger again, and he's close to level 5. 1-2-0 is not out of the woods yet.
Come for the storm. New wolves. Level 3 chain lightning, by the way. And this expo is not broken yet. Raider again. Oh, that heal wave misses. That's big. Silence as well. Did hit the TC. Just waiting for it. Level 5 DR. Incredible. The Shadowhunter just gets wiped out of this fight. No more healing, no more hex.
Yeah, that was the big problem here for Fly. The Shadow's just way too underleveled, even with these other 2 strong heroes. It's not gonna be good enough anymore. Against Undead Tri-Hero, soon to be DK5, Catgus Pipe, and the statues. Again, trying with the hero kill, but doesn't have any army left anymore. Even with Chain Lightning, not going to be good enough. TC doing his best. Looking scary with the cloak, but it's nothing left anymore. Even Web is now available. Windrider's getting Web getting killed, and this game is about to end. Finally, the DK positioning is better. Not running into those stomps anymore. And this game will go to the Undead now for sure.
Oh yes, so many skeletons here. Can eat them all for more mana, and the statues are doing a wonderful job as well. Rarely breaking 50 supply, man. This tiny Great Hall did not really pay off, man. And is getting killed now by what was formerly peons. Fly still staying in this game. Getting close to a 5 TC. You don't want to give up games when you have 5-5. And it feels like he has to. Is he switching tactics now? Builds a second bestiary. Maybe one last hurrah with the bank he got and a level 5 TC.
Ooh, misclick on the stomp. I think that was supposed to be wolves, perhaps.
That's a dead Farseer right here, my friend.
And the Shadow Hunter doesn't come out to a welcome sight either. TC breaks out the silence with the Invoke Potion. He's got a stomp. He needs to land a big one and 2 huge ones after that. That was a really good one. One Fiend going down right away, but the Farseer is dead. The Shadow Hunter in a bad position again. There's so much Coil Nova, and bye-bye. Little old level 2 Shadow Hunter. You have not been impressive this game. TC is still trying his best, but the army is being converted into skeletons here momentarily with a level 5 Dark Ranger. She's closing in on Charm, by the way. The Stomps are good, but not enough. GG, and 1-0 takes the lead.
1-0 really showing what adjustments you can make to play better against this Farseer Headhunter style than if you just play standard. Against Blade and Grunts, you have to go Lich second for Frost Armor, but against Headhunters, you really don't need that. So he goes Dark Ranger second, levels that Dark Ranger a bunch, and then there's always the threat that if they fight, of course, there's going to be those very scary skeletons. There's also silence in the fights, and most of all, that agility on the Dark Ranger level 4, 25 agility, he put both of the claws on her, and that Dark Ranger was hurting a ton. You mentioned it, he kind of messed up with the positioning on the Death Knight sometimes, but overall, the game plan was really quite amazing, I thought, and the way he's playing it as well. Understanding that even if Orc gets Expo at some point, as long as he gets high-level heroes, he's gonna be fine in the long run with statues.
Yeah, and it feels like his micro is getting better and better, even though when there were some positioning mistakes, but he's hitting these last-second coils, he's hitting the last-second burrows. That is that's pretty impressive what 1-0 brings to the table, and with Fly, the second DreamHack regional finalist is about to be eliminated. We'll see if that happens after a little break. We start the day here at the DreamHack Summer Open with 4 orcs in the quarterfinals, and the second one is about to be eliminated, and later on there's going to be a mirror match. So if this trend continues, we say goodbye to 3 players of the Horde today.
Yeah, 1-0 certainly looks like he's in charge now in this series. He's made adjustments. He's found a good way to answer Fly. It's going to be up to him to respond next on what's going to be a tricky map. Amazonia coming up for our 4th map. A map that was most of the time vetoed by orcs in the past when it was Blade versus DK standard meta. For Blade versus DK, this is really bad. So the question is, does 1-0 for sure anticipate Farseer reacting with Fast Fiends, to which Fly is going to react again with the Blade Master build maybe? The reverse psychology and mind gameplays are in effect again, and usually Fly wins those.
Yeah, Blade Master on this map does feel like maybe it wouldn't be very good, though, at least in my opinion. So it kind of feels like he might be forced into a Farseer headhunter situation and might have to rely on better execution than what we saw last game, because he was 1-0 doing really well with the Dark Ranger second.
It is Fly's pick, so he clearly has a game plan prepared, picking this over Tidehunters, it is. And yeah, match points for the underdog, for the young underdog. It's a battle of generations here, of course, with these two. And we are about to kick things off. Fly versus 1-0, Fly fighting for survival. Pretty incredible, this 1-0 kid. After being 4-0'd by orcs in next, showing up big time in the quarterfinal here at DreamHack. Spawning in the upper right-hand side of Amazonia, he is. And Fly in the bottom left. Looks like Farseer Headhunters to me.
Against a Ghoul build by 1-0. The first time we see that today. Ghoul build with Cryptlord 1 base is really cool, but possibly unreliable. He is gonna go with the DK. That's gonna be the more reliable style, the one he can bank on more. If you play Cryptlord Ghoul 1 base and you get like 2 or 3 surrounds early game, it's wonderful. The world is your oyster. You're gonna have that much experience. The enemy army is gonna be small. You can creep like crazy. But if you don't get those kills, and there's 4 headhunters, 5 headhunters, sniping bit by bit all the ghouls, all the skeletons, all the beetles you have, dropping the Cryptlord low to like 200 HP, then you're gonna be left in a very precarious situation. So DK is gonna be the safer choice here to have coils and aura early on. And I wonder if this is just purely about the map, because we've seen plenty of times, especially in other matchups, with DK ghouls, you can creep to level 3, especially in the middle with the kobolds, very nicely.
Oh yeah, starting off at the lab, maybe lightning shield with coil, and then the middle can be claimed by you. The mercenary camps can be sniped easily. This is something that 1-0 did a lot in the past. And even the outskirts trolls are just a matter of seconds until it's done. Now we got the lightning shield. We got the perfect position on the ghouls. Gotta be careful with that DK, but of course he is. And that is a very fast creep so far. But is it fast enough? Oh my, perfection.
DK would love to get one wolf here for the level up. Playing around the coil. 1-0 wants to wait for the resummon and then secure the last hit. Both playing this early game very, very well. Cost 1-0 a bit of HP and mana. Oh, and he baits the resummon. Did you see with the pump fake? Nice, nice.
Pretty sweet. Fly on the other side gets the tome, but the ghoul seems safe. There's another coil. Does he even need it? Wants to save that mana. Blocks the
wolves
way.
Are trapped. It's level 2. You can just coil this wolf. He knows the resummon is on cooldown, and that's level 2.
That is an excellent opening for 1-0, and if I'm Fly, I'm a little worried already. I mean, it's not as disastrous as Autumn Leaves, where he lost 3 headhunters, but the ghouls are coming for a creepjack, and one of them is already ensnared.
Skelly scouting, as always, is outstanding. He's praying for that ensnare to wear off, and thankfully that headhunter does get away. But these are ghouls with aura, and he closes this round easily. And that's the first of possibly many headhunter kills.
Uh-oh. This series is derailing quickly for Fly. There was a last coil. Can he do damage or will he just receive damage? Is the question. Orcs can of course heal very easy. Oh my, these surrounds are so sweet. Losing one ghoul for a TP, got a headhunter as well. Good trade.
Zero could have just finished the troll camp, but he wants something bigger. He knows everything's low. He knows the TP is gone, so he's gonna go over to the kobolds. If he gets both kobold camps, both those items, and also level 3, that's an insane lead going into the mid game. As the scouting, of course, continues for the necromancer.
Yeah, we see it here. Big experience lead. The skeleton gets saved to the side to not donate level 2 to the Farseer, so he doesn't even have chain lightning, can't go for the steal. And this is exactly the camp that we mentioned twice already. DK level 2.6. Ghoul sent back or to the side. Wow. Harassing and creeping at the same time. Trying to get last hits with coils while creeping secure with ghouls on the left-hand side. And that works.
Didn't want to go for the chain lightning there, perhaps during nighttime. Didn't see it too well.
Bash.
Oh, the bash from the Taskmaster.
Level 3. That's a coil. Wants to save it for the big Taskmaster.
He's gonna get it. He wants to get the item as well. Or perhaps the Farseer. That would be even better. Can't get that though.
Oh my.
A player's forces are under attack.
Wow, what a sick game by 120. Slippers and Agi Tome. You know, I love Dark Ranger, but this game, no need.
No.
You can just go for a Lich.
There is a Lich indeed in production, and Fly is forced back into the safety of his main base. Cripping the Murlocs, of course, not what you want. He needs to do big damage, man. Big damage very, very soon. TC double Bestiary.
These, if it's Wind Riders, could work out pretty well. There's 0 Fiends out on the field at the moment. 120 has played a great game so far, but he may not see this one coming.
Fly, with all his experience, does he find a way out of this situation here? Damage will be good, of course, but so is the control of 120, and that is his patented Renegade Wizard Snipe for one of the biggest items on the map. Oh, does take a little bit of damage, but it's fine. Sobi Mask, worth it.
Finally a great item for 120 with double gloves, ring, slippers. It was pretty bad items for him, considering the alternatives. But that one is certainly marvelous. Sort of accuracy, of course, for the headhunter player. Absolutely amazing. And what are we going to see? Raiders to start with, but could be Wind Riders coming in before too long.
Skeleton does scout a little, but it's nighttime and he didn't dive into the orc base. So it's not guaranteed that he saw that. And yeah, it's one Raider plus Ensnare into Wyvern to maybe call a fake. Yeah, there's no web, there's no fiend, but there's Creepjack.
Well, Nova finds one kill right away. DK has another nuke, and so does the Lich. Speed scroll to get out of there, but one headhunter wasn't hit with it. So another headhunter goes down, and the next one. Oh, actually lets that one get away. Small mistake, but he makes up for it with a block on the other one. Raider finds the ensnare, but where's the damage here on the orc side? It's only really the wolves who are putting in decent work. But the DK, so much mana regen now with Sobi and Statue.
Oh yeah, this is an excellent addition to this army. Tier 3 is almost done. Ensnare coming in, so that might be a kill right here. He has the coil almost in the air, but he can't prevent that kill anymore, and that is level 2 for the Tauren Chieftain. Fly survives, but he's still not in a great position. And now, does 120 know about the Wyvern? Use a Kodo and back into Headhunters.
And there's very little anti-air so far for 120. He may have to keep this orb on the DK to deal with the air units. You want to take out the statues if you can. Aggressive coil against the Raider takes that one out. Stomp is nice against the ghouls, but it's only level 1 Stomp. Lots of losses here on both sides, but importantly, only one of these two is on tier 3, so this is always favoring 120.
Close to level 4 as well. Lich is making his way towards level 2, and Destroyer upgrade is coming. He saw the Wyvern, but he's neither queuing Fiends nor Web. He's going for Gargoyle.
Oh, that's pretty cool. 1-0 feels the web fiend transition would be too late. He needs to get 2 fiends and web out before that's really effective, and that takes a long time. Gogs are way more efficient, if you will, at dealing with Wind Riders. Problem is, bad riders can counter that quickly as well.
Yo, also focus fire with a little chain lightning maybe takes care of them real quick. But they can't be stomped, so that is indeed a very good thing about them. More headhunters, more Kodos. Maybe it was just a fake with the Wyvern, or he wanted that extra firepower to accelerate creeping. And with that, with only like 2 Wyvern in the air, this Garg is perfect.
They're gonna play a very fast style. Ghouls and gargoyles and triple hero. Very good at dishing out damage quickly, but also quite frail if especially the stomps land. And we do have level 2 stomp now. We have a big mana potion. Big heal pot picked up by 1-0 is in a bad position. He may want to TP out, and he does. Statue is a big deal. Whether that one survives, it will. And we're nearing 50 supply on both sides.
And we're nearing an empty map, as there's a couple of green spots still there. It's the remainders of the mercenary camp and the red spots. Do you want to do this? Fly is sliding over peons. Expo, I guess. And the first bad rider indeed. Needs to be nuked. That's then the nuke that will not end up on raiders or heroes. And Ensnare is pretty good against Gargs as well. Nova hits big. Headhunter's a little far forward here, getting attacked by ghouls, but the priority seems to be gargoyles. And there's the chain lightning. Almost a double kill here. Can these Wyvern reign supreme or not? Gargs are gone now.
Getting nuked out of the air pretty quickly, and that means the orb can go back to the Lich once again. Coil comes in, saves the Destroyer for a little while, but it will be taken out in the end. Piercing damage is good enough. Farseer level 4, but still some Dispel up in the air for 1-2-0. Mana dropping low, especially on the undead side. Still so many stomps left. Fly is holding on to them for a long, long time.
It's pretty incredible. After this early game, Fly is getting a wonderful fight. Second Destroyer down, needs to morph another one to have a weapon against these wolves. Otherwise, the wolves just dominate the air. Speed Scroll trying to get out. Here's the coil, and down you go. 36 supply only.
Big problem here is being seen by the Orc side. Even if you kill a lot of units with your army, if you're stuck on tier 2, in the hero versus hero battle, you're never gonna have a chance. Unless you have an expansion, maybe. But on AZ, that's almost impossible to do. And Fly, being stuck with only his dual hero play, is having real issues. Supply now also favoring 1-0 in just a moment. If he takes out another Wind Rider, Orb still on the DK. Coil flies, gets the kill, and he's chasing so well with his aura. Only level 1 aura, as again, he's playing it safe with Deathbang.
Gets another headhunter. Man, he's getting so much with so little. Another nuke is another kill, and the Kodo doesn't look too healthy either. Fly once again hanging on to dear life, facing elimination. He's trying to pump from all cylinders, but yeah, this is a lot of supply that's still stuck in production. And 1-0 is taking control of this game.
Good and Snare, taking out the statues, the best thing that can be done by Fly, but the Frost Armor mix is really hard. When you don't have Orb, you don't have a Blade Master, it takes so long to take out these damn statues. We got it finally, but lost quite a bit of health as well. Kodo going down again. DK, this Sobi Mask is just wonderful. So much regen, so many coils, and 1-0 seemingly about to close out this series.
Sobi Mask on AZ, Katka's Pipe on AL. These items, he can be very thankful for that. Getting kill after kill after kill. DK controlled with Ensnare, alright. But this is looking dire. Oh, means justified. Another one with the coil is there in time. So the detonates a little wasted here. And now the shop is gone. That means no more potions.
Fly, he's against the ropes. He's backed against the ground, if you will, at the same time. I don't know what he's supposed to do here. He's trying with ensnares, getting a few crucial kills here and there, but he's just been outscaled by higher tech, by better heroes, and perhaps this time on this map, Fly didn't pick the right strat to go with, but AZ can be so hard for Orc. TC is gonna get 4 finally. But these stomps aren't even hitting any units. It's just the heroes every now and then.
Yeah, and the threat is in the air. Gargs, destroyers. And against heroes it doesn't last too long and of course doesn't do the necessary damage. What is your way back into this game, Fly? It is so hard to do now. He's trying long distance mining. He never built that expansion. He needs the money for new units. But these new units are getting picked apart by Coil and Nova.
And the best Undead versus Orc player in the world. We were kind of missing him for a while, but he certainly seems to be back. Chasing around the inferior enemy army now with ease. And very close to double level up as well. Triple level up, actually. Fly is looking for the opening. Fly is looking for the enemy mistake to somehow come back. He knows if 1-2-0 doesn't make those errors, there's no chance. But maybe there's a way.
We've seen a crazy comeback attempt on AL when he got the DK at some point, but this is so much harder to do without tier 3. 1-0, forcing the issue, diving deep into the base, where of course there's burrows, and maybe that is the opening. No, it's not. 1-0 wins the series, and with Fly, the second legendary orc eliminated from DreamHack Summer.